also the top used to work with the mafia for all kinds of shit. That's why JFK. And now after I watch all these mob things, I really think the mob was part of him.
I absolutely think they did it. I don't think
because he fucked them over. His piece of shit brother. First of all, their father's a scumbag gangster.
He's a bootlegger. He was a bootlegger. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he goes, if you will get my boy in, you'll never have to worry about anything. So the mob rigged all the voting.
Right. In Chicago, in the Chicago area, and with the unions, they really did, because it was a close election, and they really did put him over the top. That's what they said anyway. Or at least it doesn't matter if it actually happened. If the mob thinks they did it, then they're operating under the assumption that they did it and that you crossed them.
Well, the other thing is, I didn't know this. You know Marilyn Monroe, how like JFK fucked her and Sam Giancana? Well, that's
and
how
Robert Kennedy.
Yeah, right. But I think he was just fucking her. But JFK and Sam Giancana, supposedly, that's how they would get messages to each other. She'd come over and fuck him. That's why she was going back and forth, is because they would both bang her and send a message to the other one, like a carrier pigeon. But, you know, if you put sperm in it, yeah, and so that's like, I always look at the unions like that's just the blue collar version of the corruption at the top. So of course it's corrupt. All power people become corrupt. Everything's the mafia. I mean, every fucking thing's the mafia.
Right.
You know,
But don't you see something like, I look at it like an arc where it starts off meager and small, and they have to scrap and to get their rights, and it's a lot of work. But they eventually become formidable, and it's like on equal footing, and you're like, oh, this is operating the way that it should. The push and pull
becomes out of control, and
it's
quality as
then
it
the
grows.
union becomes too big and and like to the point where it was like the 80s, and we couldn't drive an American car because it would break. It would break down every week.
Even now, well, that's probably the height of that corruption of like mob people. But even now, the unions like at the top don't follow they're not really, a lot of them aren't serving their actual members.
Because I can't get right. Because I can't get right.